This gentleman is our head coach here at 2020 Vision, but he is a man that's been running a consulting firm of his own, Mountain High Consulting. He is incredibly powerful. If you've sat in our rooms, besides literally managing our coaches and our experts and keeping us on track, and he's the expert consultant for all the senior leaders here at 2020 and myself, and he gives us incredible advice. Today he's going to close us out, and don't go anywhere. If you can hang on at the very end, I'm going to just do a couple of important housekeeping things you're not going to want to miss, because we're going to actually tell you about a place you can invite your realtors to that's coming on January 19th, that you are allowed to bring them here if you're a member of our firm. And you can, it's a $500 seat that's free. And it's on business planning for realtors. And we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about the Vision Summit. But let me do this introduction of head coach and executive consultant Ray Befus. His topic is One Ring to Rule Them All, Self-Awareness, the Meta Skill of the 21st Century. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to blow your mind. So I'm going to get out of his way, and here you go. Ray?
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Christine. Wow. We've been fire hosed today, from Christine herself to Joe to Laura to Ruth and now Barry. My goodness. I'd like to wrap up by talking about the one thing that has the power to energize every other insight, every other tool that we've been given today. And I want to refer to the Lord of the Rings. I'm sure there's some fans. In the Lord of the Rings, author J.R.R. Tolkien imagined that across the world of elves, men, and dwarves, there were many rings of power. The elven kings had been entrusted with 3 rings of power. The 7 rings were given to the dwarf lords, and 9 rings were given to mortal men. But there was one ring forged in the darkness that had the power to rule them all. It was the one ring of power sought by the Dark Lord Sauron, but carried by a lowly hobbit on his quest to save the world. But to possess the one ring of power was to rule all the other rings and to conquer the world. And with that metaphor in mind, let me ask you, is there one special ability or strength that can empower our greatest success? No matter what other knowledge or skill we may have, is there one special ability that has the power to magnify every other ability? And if so, what is it? It would be gold. Now, what's the one ability, the one strength that can take everything we've heard today and lift today's learning to a new level that transforms our lives and careers? In other words, what's the one ring of power in the mortgage banking industry? Well, in her book, Insight, organizational psychologist Tasha Eurich claims that this one strength that sharpens every other skill, everything that Paul said, everything that Laura said, everything that Ruth and Christine said, the one strength that takes all of that and sharpens it is self-awareness. She describes self-awareness as the meta skill of the 21st century. And by that, she means that no matter what knowledge you take away from this training this afternoon, or what strength, what insight you take away, self-awareness will increase its value exponentially. Self-awareness will sharpen its edge, deepen its impact, and lift you to success at a dramatically new level. And part of this is because success is a team sport. Believe it or not, Barry is not a self-made success, nor is Christine, nor are any of our other speakers. They work effectively with teams to marshal all the insights they've gathered and bring them to us today. Now, unfortunately, Eurich says that self-awareness is actually a rare strength among business leaders. Sad news for all of us. She writes that in any room that she speaks with business leaders, if she asks, how many of you have a solid sense of self-awareness, 85% will raise their hands. And she shakes her head. She says, the science shows that 85% of the women and the men who actually raise their hands don't have self-awareness. They think they do. They're living in a fantasy land, but self-awareness is generally only possessed by about 10 to 15% of business leaders across America. It's not that they're not smart. It's that they don't have the self-awareness that enables them to get out of their own way and capture the full potential of their knowledge, their skill, their power, and their hard work. In other words, we've all heard the same presentations today. We've all got the same notes that we've taken, but some of us are going to go out and really change our companies and change our lives. It's not because of our intelligence. It's not because we're not powerful men and women. It's that we aren't aware of how we may be getting in our own way. What is self-awareness? Well, it's the awareness of our strengths and our weaknesses, the awareness of what's going on inside of us when we're not at our best, when we are at our best, the awareness of what we bring into the room when we start talking, the awareness of our contribution to the way things are and the way things aren't. Self-awareness is a growing awareness of our blind spots, our opportunity for growth. It's the awareness of our contribution to what's working and what's not working. And here's the truth. Across social science, across North America, self-aware men and women are happier, they make better decisions, they have better personal and professional relationships, they're better students, they're more confident, creative, they're better communicators, they're less aggressive, they're less likely to abuse, they're better performers at work, they get more promotions, they're more effective leaders, they oversee teams with higher morale, and they lead more profitable companies. And this, my friends, is science. Now, the reason that self-awareness is so rare is that growing in self-awareness requires uncommon courage and humility. What's going on here? Well, we can only see ourselves as we truly are if we're willing to look at ourselves through other people's eyes. So to grow in self-awareness, we have to ask for help. None of us can develop meaningful self-awareness just by journaling privately, being introspective, reflecting. Our personal reflections are always shaped and colored by our self-interest, by our own fears, by the pride we have a hard time seeing in ourselves. So if we want to become self-aware, we've got to exercise the courage to ask the people closest to us what they see, what they hear and experience in our presence. What strengths do they appreciate? What weaknesses distract them and frustrate them? What blind spots do they see holding us back? That takes courage. Our clearest view of reality, clearest view of ourselves, our clearest view of our business can only be seen through others' eyes. It's that reality is just too big, too complex for one person to see it all, one person to hear it all, one person to understand it all. Maybe you know what you know, maybe you even know what you don't know, but the realm of self-awareness is the realm of we don't know what we don't know unless we ask others what they see, what they hear. So we've got to ask questions, courageous questions, humbling questions like, what do you think I'm not seeing clearly? What do you think I don't want to hear? What are you afraid to tell me? Let me share with you four questions that a very deeply self-aware businessman I know regularly asks himself and other people. Developing self-awareness is not rocket science. This guy just asks four questions over and over as the years go by. He asks them of himself, he asks them of other people. Let's start with the toughest question he asks himself. And he asks himself, he says, every day, what's it like to be on the receiving end of me? Woo! What's it like to be on the receiving end of me? Now, I don't know about you, but I think that all of my interactions at home and at work are intelligent, well thought out, wise, delivered with inspiring strength. You know, but if I imagine myself saying that in front of my wife or my kids, they're going to roll their eyes and they're going to look down and, you know, they're not going to give me any support on that one. Dad, come on. Now, what about people I work with? What about my team members? Well, some of them are going to do a lot more than just, you know, roll their eyes. They're going to give me the finger of death and say, buddy, you don't know what's going on. You don't know yourself. Early in my career, a peer came to me after a very busy morning at work. And we were friends, but I could see he was a little anxious. And he started out with a compliment, or so I took it. He said that I had an unusual command of language. I had an unusually adept way of finding the right words in the right moments. He saw this as a strength. But then he looked at me straight in the eye and he continued and he said, "And Ray, your words can be razor sharp and unnecessarily cutting when you're stressed, when you're threatened, which turns out to be a lot of the time. You're overusing your gift." Now I was stunned, but I needed to hear that. And that moment has stayed in my mind for 40 years. It shaped my self-awareness. I have a way with words that can wound the very people who are fighting alongside of me for my success. Whoa, what a sharp day, a moment of self-awareness. So what's it like to be on the receiving end of a relationship with you? When you're under stress, when you're feeling threatened? Most of us have very good intentions. We want to help other people succeed. We mean well. We just don't have the ability to see or hear ourselves or experience ourselves the way other people do. We don't know what we don't know. And so my self-perception, like yours, is often shaded by self-interest. I grade myself on a curve. I don't always give you that benefit. My self-perception is often shaded by judgments of people around me. Like, my weaknesses are molehills, but yours are mountains. My self-perception is often rooted in the sort of pride and self-promotion that other people find offensive. So here's some good news. Everyone loves working with a coworker, a boss, a supervisor, an owner who just consistently asks, not perfectly, but just consistently asks, "What do you think I'm not seeing? What are you afraid to tell me? What would you tell me if you could be sure I would thank you instead of being defensive?" A person who asks these kinds of questions discovers what it's like to be on the receiving end of his or her own interactions with people at home and at work. Self-awareness is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and you can give the people around you. It just takes courage and humility. This guy that I met who said, I ask myself 4 questions. The second one is, I just go around asking the people around me, what can I do to make your job easier? You'll notice that's an open-ended question. It's not a yes or a no. If I ask you, do you have help, need help? Most of you will say, oh, no, I'm good. In America's workplace, we don't ask for help from busy bosses, peers. We say, no, I'm good. I've got this. And we don't tell the truth about the help we need. And so then we get stroked for that. Somebody says, well, I didn't think you needed help. Of course not. You got it. I knew I hired the right person. You go for it, Ray. And so asking an open-ended question like, what can I do to make your job easier, invites dialogue. It shows the right attitude, the right perspective, the right motive, the right self-awareness. When I ask, what can I do to make your job easier? It shows an authentic desire to help you succeed. What's the attitude behind the question? Well, I just want to help you as a fellow human being get to where I am, have what I have, come with me wherever I'm going. And what's the unusual self-awareness around the question, how do I make your job easier? It's that the awareness that sometimes bosses who want things done their way make everybody's job harder than it has to be. It's the self-awareness demonstrated by Steve Jobs when he said it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. The best leaders position themselves as servants who are there to help their team members succeed. Others come across like kings and queens or are here to demand that others help them succeed in their way. So, do your team members experience you as serving them and working for their success? Or do they experience you as a king or queen demanding you fuel their success? The author just goes on, or not the author, but this businessman has said, make sure you're the best person for doing the task you're doing. And that's the third question. Am I the best person to be doing what I'm doing? Or is it time to delegate? Is it time to train? Is it time to share control? Dave Grohl is the front man for the Foo Fighters, but he doesn't build his own guitars. Dave Calhoun's the new CEO at Boeing, but he doesn't build jet engines. I mean, Jane Fraser, the CEO at Citigroup, doesn't manage branch offices. And so as our businesses grow, we are naturally doing everything. We are great at everything. And as our businesses grow, our success depends on us sharing control, not tightening our grip on control. And so there's a better way. If the business is growing, I've got to start training. I can't keep doing all that I'm doing. I've got to train my team to take on bigger and bigger tasks so that they can grow into their gifts, develop their skills, and develop much greater competence. But it all starts with me. Should I still be doing this? Should I still be doing that? And if not, then I'm losing self-awareness. I'm getting overshadowed by self-deception. And so one of the things self-aware leaders do is they'll ask the people around them, should I be doing this? Or is there somebody else who could be doing it? What's missing for you to start doing this? What kind of training can I provide? But I can't keep doing what I'm still doing. And so I ask myself every day, am I the right person to be doing this task? Fourth question, interesting question. Who should I call today? Who should I call today? It can be lonely at the top, but the most self-aware leaders often have the widest social network. They have the richest group of peers and friends. Every business leader who's successful actually has 5 sources of capital. One is spiritual, their vision, their values, their faith. Another source of capital is relational, where they have credibility and trust. Another is physical, intellectual, and finally financial capital. But our daily success over the long run depends on our ability to invest in all sources of capital. And nothing contributes to self-awareness like relational capital, where people are going through their day and they're thinking, oh man, I wonder what Bob would do about this. Oh, I know Mary's been here. I need to give her a call and ask how she processed that. One of the things, though, the benefits of working with Christine Beckwith is that she's strong. She's strong enough to stand up to me. And I think I'm strong enough to stand up to her. But self-awareness for all of us is never a once and done deal. And so I'm an executive coach, I'm pretty self-aware, but I always have needs to grow in self-awareness. And so my own boss, Christine, once challenged me, and it fairly forcefully, around how my style of relating was impacting her negatively, if you can believe that. Me. Well, she gave me some unsolicited feedback on a blind spot in the way I was communicating with her. It was something I didn't see, but she was sharing her experience with me, and I was truly blind to what was going on. And even as a coach, I thought, what a gift I'm getting. I haven't arrived. No one's arrived. I tend to think I'm an eagle surrounded by turkeys, but that hurts me, and it hurts the people who need me to be my best and bring my best work to the team. And so one of the things that's so helpful is just to have a list of friends, a list of peers, even competitors whom you can call and say, look, this is what I'm going through. I could use some advice. You say, well, what's a competitor? Well, it's another man or woman who's in the same business, but we both have the self-awareness to know there's plenty of business out there for us both. Even though we're in the same business, we can still help each other by sharpening our skills. So self-awareness. Self-aware business leaders generally have much deeper, broader professional networks than those who don't have self-awareness. And so literally, as the year opens up, notice how often do I talk to other people about what's really going on, what really frightens me, what I really missed, what I need and I don't understand. Self-aware people are always calling others and saying, can I tell you where I'm at? Can I tell you what I'm up against? I could use your counsel. I admire the results that you've already gotten. So with all we've heard today, most of us are going to be eager to take our new tools and our insights. We're going to take them back to our teams. We're going to take them into the future. We're going to set out running, but some of us are going to get distracted. Some of us are going to blame our teams. I told them everything Joe said. I told them everything Laura said. I told them what Ruth said, and they didn't buy it. They didn't like it. And they're going to blame their teams. But those of us who run the distance, who go for the gold by the end of the year and actually make that extra 100,000, 200,000, it's going to be because we took what we learned today and we added self-awareness to the mix. We're going to be asking questions, what's it like to be on the receiving end of me, especially when I'm under stress? What can I do to make my team members' jobs easier? Am I the right person to be doing this task over and over again? And who do I need to call today? Here at 2020, we're cheering for your unprecedented success like you've never seen before. And we hope that you're going to call us whenever you're looking for a new mirror to help you see yourself clearly, who you are, the potential you have to become, and how you can move forward in deepening self-awareness. Wear the ring, my friend, the ring of power. Self-awareness will turn everything you've heard today into pure gold.
Yay! So good. He's so good. He's like magic. He's like my drug. I'm telling you. I go into, Melissa's shaking her head. Other people, like if you are in our classrooms, you get the privilege of seeing Ray on the regular because he teaches classrooms. We're going to do a few housekeeping. Ray, gold, magic. Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate you. I'm tough. I didn't know that. I know. I think the one thing that sticks to me is that everybody knows I have that firm backbone or whatnot. But what a magnificent show. Did you love it? Did you get stuff? I hope you did. Thank you. You should all win a prize that you're at the very bitter end, but I'm going to ask you for 2 last minutes of your time. I know Dina has the best face for that. Like literally, I don't know if I have 120 seconds, but Dina, if you have to go, go. If anybody has to go, go. Literally 2 minutes just on this. First of all, thank you. We have this event every year. Mark your calendars for January of next year. We'll be doing What's the Big Deal 2023. And these years, as you know, roll on so fast. No, we're not selling anything. So I want to start right now. All of you that are on here that have memberships, we have these big curriculum classes that are going on tomorrow with Ruth Lee. You got a little snippet of her gold today, executive coach. She's going to be teaching Strengthen and Attract Realtors with 2020 Vision for Success Coaching. It is an amazing class on high EQ and motivation and mindset. So it's just really incredible. You want to come to that. Also, obviously, this month is our incredible Winter Carnival, and our happy hour tomorrow at 4 p.m. is open, called the Winter Warrior. We're going to be giving away books from all the speakers today that have books. So come, because there'll be door prizes, and that's always fun. We're going to play a few games and socialize. And as usual, this week we have the broker workshop. Tommy Bassino's holding the mic. And please make sure you have your calendar apps open, and that you know where the classes are, because some are study halls and like the business boot camp and the broker workshop. Here is our realtor blueprint for success. It's a January 19th class. We only do this class in January for realtors. I will be the teacher for this class. It will unpack the blueprint for success for realtors. So realtors that are on the line listening right now, and all of you are welcome to invite your realtors. Yes, if you are a member of our organization paying membership dues as a student, you are welcome to invite your realtors. You can copy and paste the image, the Zoom link, and the code, which by the way is sent to you, has been sent to you every Monday for the last 4 weeks from Christine, from Cher's email, Cher at Vision Your Success. Go back to Monday, find, sort your email from Cher, find it. Last thing I want to tell you is a little highlight of something that is coming, and that is that we are about to embark in the development of our wonderful Vision Summit. And I'm happy to unveil to you that this year's theme is going to be the Eco Vision, and it's your universe, right? It's your vision. And we're going to bring you the expert world of the Eco Vision. And so think intergalactical. Think about all the things that circle around your sun, the sun being your business. What are you in your universe bringing into your world that makes your business really, really shine and really, really successful? Well, we're going to bring to the stage all of these things in the ecosystem of your business and all of these experts. We're going to have some celebrities, we're going to have industry experts, and those tickets are right now on sale. The early bird special is out there on our social medias. I think Cher might have even copy and pasted it just now into the chat. And that is all. I'm going to end by saying this. You know, we have grown the company. This is year 4 for us. We have 50 some odd employees here now. We have thousands of people that are consulting and coaching with us. We continue to grow because of all of you. And I want to take this time to just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the conversation you have with the person that asks about us, where you really intimately share what you're doing. And please, this year, today, this week, tomorrow, this month, engage, progress, learn, apply, execute. All of what you just learned, as Ray just said, is only going to work if you take action. And truly, that is the most significant thing that you have to walk away with all your notes. What one thing or several things can you implement into your business and begin forming new habits that are going to help you pivot and get to the place where you're going to connect and convert? So we hope you loved this year's What's the Big Deal. It will go out to all our students, the recording, and it will go out to all people that registered. So if you're a guest here today, thanks for coming. If you're not a member of 2020, we loved hosting and having you at our annual kickoff event. And yes, you'll be sent a copy because we have your registration. If for any reason you're worried you're not on the list, but you want the copy, you can send an email to share@visionyoursuccess.net and say, send me a copy of today's recording. And that is all. Pay it forward. Love you all. Thanks for sticking it out. Have a great afternoon.